Hi everyone, welcome to Hibernate tutorial. In our previous tutorial, we have covered what are the uh, various method available in the Hibernate transaction management. So we will see this transaction management with the help of a simple example. What we will do here, we have already added the dependencies in our Hibernate demo project. We have added the dependency for the Hibernate and for the MySQL, and then in hibernate.cfg file we have added all the required properties in order to get the connection from the MySQL. So we have created a session factory for this MySQL, and we have this database telecom, which we have already covered in our previous tutorial. Now what we will do, we will create a simple class, and we will create a pojo. Suppose my class is user, and in user I have 2-3 fields. For example, private int user id, then we have private string username, then we have private string password. So these are 3 fields available in the user class. Then after that, what we will do, we will create its setters and getters, sources and setters and getters. We will select all and okay. Then we will make it a entities. So how we will do that? We will simply entity persistent, and after that table, and inside table what we will do, inside table we will give the name of the table. So name of table will be user, and then we have this @id, and column name will be user id, column name will be user id. Then we have this column, and here our column will be username, then next column will be password. Now after that, our entity class is completed. We have added all the required annotations, and here what we can mention, we can mention the generate type. So we will keep the default generate type, and then we will create the main class, in which we have this public static void main. And here what we will do, first of all we will create the object of the configuration or the session factory. Session factory is equal to new. How we will get the object of the session factory? First we will load the configuration, and after that configure, and inside the configure we will pass this hibernate .cfg .xml. Then we will get the session factory, and from session factory what we will do, we will create the object of the session. Open session. Now here we have the object of the session. Now what we will do, we want to see how this transaction management work. Then what we can do, from the session we can use this method begin transaction, and in this way we can create the object of the transaction is equal to session dot begin transaction. So this session dot begin transaction will return the object of this session, and inside this we will do some work. Suppose we want to save this values, user values, so we will create the object of this user, and user dot set username is del comma, and after that user dot set password, and password will be del comma. So we have username and password as del comma. Now we have already initialized our object which is in transient state. Now we will persist this object session dot persist, and as we know that it is inside the, we have already begun the transaction. Now what we need, we will here dot begin, and we will close here, we will close the transaction here, we will commit the transaction, and after that we will close the session. Then session, we will close the session factory. So let's run this application and see the output. Oh, we have to add this class here in the mapping. In the mapping we have to mention this class com dot tel comma dot user. So we have this class. Let's run this part again. We have already begun the transaction, so nested transaction is not supported. So let's check here. So we have this table user in the database, and select star from user. Right now it is empty. Let's run this part again. So here you can see that it has inserted the values into the database. It has dropped the table, then it has created the table, then it has inserted the values. So let's check this part. So here you can see that it has persisted the value into the database. So here in this session, what we have learned that how to begin the transaction. So we can begin with the help of session.beginTransaction, and after that what we can do, we can commit this transaction. We can persist our object, and after that we will commit the transaction, so it will be reflected in the database. So thank you for watching the video.